Hi there. I hope you're all doing well. Just came out of the shower. It's been a very good week for silver, and you can say whatever you want about it. It will go up and down because the price is still manipulated. You can't really do much about it. But if you have the physical stuff, then you're better off. I guess it's the same story as I had a few weeks ago, which is the bargaining power that you have in an emergency situation is better if you have silver and gold. So buy that stuff. There's some good news for me because my project Climate Babes on Pirate My Films is about to get greenlit. It's a very small project which will basically be about handing out a prize to the biggest babe, and I'll just go out on to some places where we have nice women, which is not a very hard thing to do in Holland, and try to find them. If There's, let's say, one thing that strikes me all the time with the US media is that it's so unreliable, so untrue, and it's so allowed to basically spew lies. I guess the whole mechanism is that if you can lie about things, then you can, of course, sell them cheap and make a lot of money. And with that money, you can, of course, try to find new areas in which you can lie. And then you can make a lot of money there. Basically creating a crap world in the end, idiocracy type of situation, with devastating effects for the people. So Mr. Booner, Speaker of the House, he was, of course, until now he was drinking, let's say, a martini in the bar every evening, and now suddenly he has to work, so he sucks at doing it. he says, well, we're going to lose some public office jobs, and that's not a problem because there's been 200,000 added in the last years, which is not true, but it doesn't really matter because his party is all about basically creating something to occupy the minds of people while they do exactly what they want. You see, for a Republican, there's no reason. There's no reason to reason. There's only basically what you want to do is to paralyze everybody, and you have to know what to say to do that. So you can talk about the Constitution, about freedom of guns, about abortion, about whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be in any relationship to what you're actually saying, as long as it paralyzes, occupies the mind of people. And actually, if you turn it around, you can't really blame them. You see, if you're the public and you allow somebody to say, well, slavery was bad, and we have fought a long battle to free ourselves of slavery, so now we will free ourselves of Social Security, which makes no sense at all. If you are so happy to understand something about your culture that you will listen to somebody talking about slavery, which you recognize, and you go like, yes, you're a complete fool. You're a complete utter dumb cow. See, that's you are so happy with whatever you smitten of veracity you will be thrown, because you're so disoriented in an environment that you're not cleaning up. It's like I was watching this program about people that are stuck in homes with a lot of just crap, rubbish. And every home is filled with stuff that they don't need, that they don't want, that they find they have no use for. It's actually valueless. If you try to sell it to anybody, nobody will give it anything for it. It's just crap, but they're stuck with it. And then they try to move it, and of course if they try to move it, then they run into other stuff. That's how the US is now grown to be organized. And that's how it is organized. It's basically, if you want to remove the law that mandates that you, or that tells you that you have to give canned food to high school children, and preferably ravioli from some kind of industrial meat factory, then you run into a law that says that the plates cannot contain fruits and vegetables and at the same time, or something like that. Some crap rule that they made so to backstop your ability to move away from canned food or something. You have to you have to basically campaign for both laws, and it's complicated because you can etc. It's just a morass. And the whole key issue in this morass is that people are allowed to lie, that they are allowed to misrepresent the truth. You see, and that's just not acceptable at all. Just go into court and say, well, you go to court and you say, well, my neighbor stole $100,000 of me, and here's a picture of it, and you show a picture of $100,000 which is not yours and never been, and you have a lawyer that believes you, and he thinks, well, he gets a cut, so it's not prepaid, but it's no cure, no pay, and he goes all out against your neighbor, and he gets it's based on a lie, but you can build a structure around lies that people believe, and then you can do all kinds of nasty things, and it should be immediately punished. But not in the US, and apparently the laws are changing in Canada, so not in Canada, and it pervades every aspect of your society. It's just, if things are not true, then you shouldn't allow it to exist. If you have a marketing message that's simply not true, you shouldn't allow it to exist. Why? Well, because it confuses people, and they start behaving in a wrong way. I just made up a brilliant concept which I don't even have to lie to sell, but it is basically based on an illusion, and I'm 100% certain that it will be a marketing success, because you can, of course, Walt Disney proves that you can sell dreams. So ephemeral things that have no reality at all, but you have to be quite clear that they are dreams, that you go into the cinema theater and you see something which is not real, and then you go outside and you see things that are real, and just to accentuate this, I spoke to a Chinese friend, and she said she was going to China to her family, and she said, well, I'll just take a whole suitcase of vitamin pills with me. And I go, why? Why would you do that? Well, these are European vitamin pills, and you can trust them. Chinese vitamin pills, you never know what's in it. If you're smart, and it's not negative about Chinese people, it's simply that it's such a big country, it's hard to police, which is again a reason why you should go local and only trust local things. But anyway, if a Chinese manufacturer is smart, he puts cyanide in his vitamin pills, and he never gets a complaint, because everybody that eats one dies immediately. And we got in Europe a new rule, which is a bogus system to protect the quality of the medicine in Europe, because 1% of our medicine is fake. So you imagine giving a fake pill to a diabetes patient. Guy will go, or a girl will go into a coma pretty soon and will die, because he only got fake pills. Insulin and stuff, all that stuff, you can all fake it, it's easy. And you have to hunt that. You have to hunt it down and punish it, because, or put these people out of business, make sure that they don't come back. In this internet age, it's completely possible to make blacklists of all kinds of criminals. Not to harass them in your neighborhood, but to keep them out of business. Let them just have let's say a menial job or something like that. But you immediately see that the reliability of the European vitamins pills is a big selling point, and so big that Chinese people don't really like to eat their own. They want to have the stuff from Europe, which they can trust. Now go to the US and ask yourself, what's going on there? If you have a system in the US where you can trust your vitamin pills, or you can't. It's complete nonsense. I read, to finish it off, that that people, women in the US and around the world, apparently not only the US, but it's just such South American practices, but they're eating food supplements that farmers give to chickens to make them fat. And it's crap. It's because these chickens, if you're a chicken in a farm these days, you are, let's say, destined to live for about 16 weeks or something like that. Not very long. So if your liver and kidney is destroyed at the end of the 16 weeks, that's fine. We'll just clean it out in the slaughterhouse. And if there's some toxicity, then we will probably wash your. It's like horrible processes that are associated with it. And these chickens get stuff in their food, which makes them put on weight, fat in their thighs, and and the women they read about it and say, "God damn it, man! I could have a big booty. I'll take these pills." And I'm a complete airhead nonsense. Or maybe I'm just lied to by somebody that is already selling Actine and all these muscle supplements, which might not or might not be harmful. Usually your kidney just doesn't want things that don't belong in your food. So let's say it deteriorates faster, and you really don't want to have problems with that. But maybe they're sold a lie once again by somebody they trust, or that somebody they trust has also been sold a lie, and it's delayed effect. It's like, yes, you will feel good today and you will feel good tomorrow, but once the heroin wears off, you'll feel more sick than you have ever felt in your whole life. Apparently, what I read from it. like that pilot, that was fantastic. There's audio online of a pilot that is flying an airplane, and his oxygen is failing in the cockpit, so there's not enough oxygen, and his co-pilot is knocked out, but he's still alive. And what happens if you lack oxygen? You don't get exasperated, like you're out of breath, but you just get euphoric. So this guy is flying the plane, going like, but you get extremely slow. You can't really calculate. Your brain cells will only work if they have the stuff available to do it, and if there's no oxygen, then they can't really operate. So it's a miracle the guy survived, but he was talking really slowly, and he says, well, in a very slow voice, and I'll try to find it and link next to this video because it's actually hilarious in my opinion. He says, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know. I can't control the altitude. I can't control anything about the plane. But other than that, everything is A-okay. That's the US right now. It's a big mess. And everybody's lying to each other. It's a swamp. You're all suffocating in it. And literally, in a few years, when all the methane comes out of the ground from the fracking. But other than that, if you watch the television, everything is A-okay. Start fighting back, man. It's disgusting. And don't forget to have a good time while you're doing that.